Hey, this is Dara, and I'm so excited to share with you this week's tip, which is a question that I want you to ask yourself. Do you have more confidence now as you're aging, or did you have more when you were younger? This was a recent article that I wrote for the Hip Senior called What Now? Just because your house is empty doesn't mean you have to be. Several years ago, when my kids were still very young, I was pushing my son in a stroller around the block. And I remember this woman coming up to me. I didn't know her. She just came out of her house to say to me, make sure you take time to still talk to your husband, even though you're going through motherhood and taking care of your kids, because someday your kids are going to leave for college like mine just did. And you have to turn to your husband and have a conversation with this man you haven't talked to in years. And clearly, she was projecting what was going through her life. But many women I know, as they reach that second chapter of their life, maybe the kids leave for college or they go through a divorce or start a new career, often have a change in their confidence. This woman that came up to me wasn't alone. I've coached many women who are later in life, 50s, 60s, 70s, even 80s, who tell me they lose confidence as their body changes and they start to face life-altering events like retirement or go through health issues, even loss of a spouse. Although age often brings a lifetime of experience and valuable wisdom that you have, as we age as women, we are especially vulnerable to feelings of unworthiness. Feelings that we are unattractive or undeserving of attention from others, or that society no longer cares about us, starts to occupy our mind. And the result is self-doubt, fear, and negative self-talk. I've come up with several tips to help us combat this. Now, it doesn't matter how old you are, this will work whether you're a younger millennial or a more senior, mature woman. But the very first tip is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is the ability to focus on one activity fully at a time. It is the direct opposite of multitasking. The way this works is if you're cutting carrots, for example, I want you to simply enjoy the sight, the sound, and the feelings of cutting those carrots. Don't let your mind wander to other things that you have to do later in the day or think about past events. One activity at a time. When we're completely mindful, it helps you stay in the present moment. And when we're fully in the present moment, we can appreciate the goodness of our lives. It's impossible to feel bad about ourselves when we're enjoying the goodness and positivity in every moment. Your mind can't occupy two spaces at once. It's either positive or negative. So choose positivity. The second tip to help us maintain our confidence as we age is to become aware of your negative self-talk. We all do it, but whenever this negative thought starts to pop in your head, whether it's about your appearance, your health, or your age, I want you to pay attention to the situation that triggered that thought. Are you repeating old patterns? Is your go-to reaction, I can't do that, I'm too old? When that negative thought emerges, I want you to find ways to challenge each specific thought and ask the question simply, do I really believe that to be true? Another way to think of this is to take a moment to separate yourself. Just imagine you're standing outside of your own body, observing you in the scene. And as you question yourself, you're separating your thoughts from your experience. It helps you realize that your thoughts are not actually a part of you. They're just thoughts. You don't have to think them. I do this a lot in the work when I offer PTC, Positive Transformational Confidence, for the women that I coach. The underlying message of PTC is that you are perfectly perfect the way you are, but you most likely have developed some bad habits along the way. Negative thoughts or negative self-talk are just simply negative habits. You can change those habits. The third tip to have more confidence as you age or go through a major life change is to practice gratitude. Now, some of you may already be doing this with a gratitude journal. If you don't, I challenge you to start. I want you to make it a game to see how many things you can find to be grateful for throughout your day and just jot them down as quickly as they happen so you don't forget them. Then, before you fall asleep, you can go back and reread your list. When we do this daily, it helps us stay in a positive mindset. Again, reinforcing that when you appreciate the things around you through mindfulness, eliminating self-talk, negative self-talk, and practicing gratitude, you begin to notice the goodness around you and your confidence increases. Now, these are just 3 of the many tips I can teach you. I want to keep this short for today. But if you're someone who needs a supportive group and maybe you start to feel lonely, your circle of friends has changed, or maybe you've gone through a change of life by being retired, or your spouse left you, or you're divorced, or you're now widowed. You need to surround yourself with a supportive community. And for you, I want to tell you about my masterminds that I have for women. A really safe, supportive space that you can come check out at any time. If you need someone to talk to and you want to work privately, I offer one-on-one coaching. And you can hear about all the wonderful women that I've coached and read amazing testimonials on daraconnolly.com. No one should suffer with feelings of fear or inadequacy or self-doubt simply because we're getting older. Aging is a natural process of life, and although we may not want to go through it, it is a part of who we are, and we should embrace it and enjoy it and feel alive about our life, no matter the number that's associated to it. I am here to support you, and if you want to jump on a call, please reach out to me. You deserve all the happiness and confidence and abundance that is on its way to you. Feel free to reach out. I'm here and I'm happy to help you because you are amazing.